let's look at the KBW, the bank index, the BKX here, and this is interesting. This is going back a few years, and you look at the level in which we kind of caught. We're trying to find a little home here, a little support guy, and this goes back to those kind of mid 2019 sort of lows. You see this sort of level where we are here, and maybe that chart doesn't mean a whole heck of a lot to you, but if you back it out. This is a log chart going back at least 10 years here. You see that uptrend that was breached in 2020. We just kind of blew through it right here. And you also look at that support level in and around 80 that we're holding above that right now. I mean, to me, I would just say that things are pretty precarious. And then if you just want to look at the one name that we focused on a little bit yesterday, this was the First Republic, right? And at the time, this stock, I think when we were doing the show at 1 o'clock, it was down
and change. I think it was trading.
Yeah, and it was a disaster. Well, look at this thing up 55%, and I just want to get, when we made these charts just a little bit ago, when Stephen made it, it was up 40-some%. So it's gaining a little steam here. But look at what a 40% move looks like on that chart, and you tell me that that's not something that's broken. I mean, it could go from right here, it could go to $25. It's trading here at 18. That would be another 35% or something like that. Well, what does $25 do for you, right? I mean, I'm being serious. So are these great trading vehicles? Maybe when you think about all of those halts that we had yesterday and what happens after halts, especially if there's news or something. We also saw some banks that were trading like this over the last couple of weeks where their equity went to zero. So you tell me. Is this anything other than gambling if you're buying?
Well, in these banks right now, I mean, I think you break up an amazing point. When you see this, when you visually see what a 40% move is higher against the backdrop of where we've been just literally, Dan, a month and a half ago. I mean, in February, this was 150. I mean, not that it matters, but just for context, traded 11 and change yesterday. It also traded. I mean, this is a stock that nobody ever talked about. They had great commercials, I guess. Stock traded 1.5 million, 2 million shares a day on average. In the last 5 or 6 trading sessions prior to today, you're talking about a stock that's traded 90 million shares, 140 million shares, 180 million shares. I mean, the turnover in this stock is massive. So now the base of this stock is now, to your point, it's just a trading vehicle. And can it continue higher from here? Yeah, but really the question you have to ask yourself is, has it shored things up? I mean, the $30 million that 11 banks deposited, those are now deposit. They're not investors in the bank. They're depositors. Like Amanda Diaz deposits CC's money, like you deposit your money, like I deposit the meager amount of money that I have. They are depositors, and they've basically said, we will make a deposit for the next 120 days until effectively you get your shit together. Well, that's the bet you're making. Can they get their shit together in 120 days?